How's it going?
Well,
You're live.
I made it.
So, how you doing tonight, Jose?
Well, sir and ma'am, as you can already see, I'm in large and I am in charge and I am ready to go with this beautiful moment with you two. And I cannot wait for everyone to see, frankly, just you two beautiful people on the internet with your own YouTube channel for the first time.
Yeah, this is the first ever video from the Pritchard Pub.
We are very excited to have you as our first guest, too. I'm just trying to figure out right now how to invite people, so bear with me. Right here. Right here. Okay, I think we're good.
For Everly Music, letting him know that, hey, AC Pritchard and his missus are getting their YouTube ready to go, so show up. Ungilded at the very least.
Evele is awesome.
Yes, he is. But he's going to be less awesome if he doesn't show up.
Hey, even if they don't, the whole point is to get the episode out, in my opinion. I like the themes. I like having episode themes and stuff.
Oh, okay. I can't do a background like that with the link, can I?
So, yeah.
Nope, that's not a question. We are live now?
Yeah, we're doing it live.
We're doing it live. All right.
Oh, I forgot to tag you. Dang it. Okay, I got it. 1 second.
Well, to soften the blows and to sweeten the meat, as to say, why don't we give a little introduction for the first timers that have no idea who the hell these people are, and to give an introduction on, introduce me, man, and then just go from there.
Yeah, and
who are you people?
Do this stuff.
Well, I am author and musician AC Pritchard. I have been in bands such as We Are the Blog and Empty My Lungs, and I did some solo stuff. This is my beautiful wife, Catherine Pritchard, Katie Pritchard.
Hi.
She is a signed high fashion model for many years, and my current editor for my novels. And just the love of my life. So
those things are very true.
They are very true. I saw the book. I saw the way the book was edited. It's very professional, ma'am. Congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I worked pretty hard on it. Lots of tired nights trying to get that done.
Hey, listen, there's nothing better than a power couple getting together to make a project happen, and babies.
I see in the chat here, Mindflayer says he married a Katie too.
Oh,
there's something about Katie's.
Yeah, we are the best.
Yeah, I knew my man was not going to disappoint me.
Who was that?
I knew my man was not going to disappoint me.
Oh, yeah. Mindflayer. He's the dude. He's got a great podcast.
He does. We're thinking of expanding it. Basically, it's just going to be me and him talking horrible internet cringy bullshit.
Well, that's what all podcasts are.
That's fun.
Yeah, and one of the ideas to pitch him was like, hey, so Chris Chan is out of jail. What do you think would happen if we got him onto our podcast?
Hey, buddies. Oh.
Yeah, his podcast, by the way, for those listening, is Anomalous on Spotify.
I moved this
Anomalous, but with Eric Lindquist.
I moved the computer cord and our dog crawled under our chairs.
Yeah, so we have another guest too, featuring
Orcus or Florcus.
Featuring Florcus, yeah.
That's you name your dog Orcus?
Yeah, Orcus. He's the dude.
Our other dog is Rollo, Rollo.
What you guys are gonna start a Viking clan or something?
Yeah,
I
That's the plan.
so I actually named him after Rollo in the show Outlander.
Oh,
Young
okay.
Ian, who is my favorite character, he's got a wolf pup named Rollo. So
Okay.
You
that's
know,
where I
When I
got the name.
Frollo, I'm thinking from Vikings, the History Channel show.
I've
that's a good.
seen it and I didn't even make that connection when I named him.
That's
I
a,
forgot all about that.
that was a good show for a while,
Yeah, for a while.
for a little bit.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, it had a better ending than Game of Thrones. We got to give it that.
That's true. That's true.
I didn't see the ending because when his kids grew up is about when I stopped watching. And not just because I lost interest, it's, life, whatever.
Well, that something that all these things that we've talked about so far have in common is family, which is the theme of tonight's show. Talking about family. Shout outs to family. So
Yep.
So tell us more about yourself, Stormcrow,
Stormcrow.
and your family background. Like, what do you got?
thunder
Siblings,
Rip the sky.
married parents, divorced,
As
whatever you want to
Stormcrow
share.
Well,
stepped on
Well,
the battlefield.
I'm gonna keep the names of my parents to them because,
Yeah.
as far as they know, they have no idea what I'm doing.
Yeah,
Like,
whatever you want or don't want to share is totally cool, of course.
No, I'll give you the details. Like, all right, TLDR, my parents have no idea that I am a part of any of this. They have no idea that I'm joined in Wrangler Stream or that I'm talking to any of you guys or I'm talking to Linquist.
Would they not
Therefore,
like that, or?
it's more a fact that they think that I'm gonna get into like a Sound of Freedom sting operation or something.
Oh, geez. Yeah.
I mean, listen, I understand completely. Like, to give you an idea, like this year alone, I probably socialized more than I've done for the past 23 years.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Are they
That
afraid
is-
of you being abducted or like trying to set up a sting to catch some people?
Yeah.
No, it's more like they really don't know. Like, I don't know how to handle this, like I'm here being a little bit paranoid because I've never done any of these things before. I've only seen other people do these kinds of things, starting podcasts, talking to shit on the internet, because we all know the internet is not exactly family wholesomeness,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Despite
where
my
people go
voice.
to throw their shit when they're too afraid to say things or do things in public, for sure.
Mhm.
It's a mask.
Exactly. I don't want to drag my poor parents into this, but I will say that TLDR, I was born in Puerto Rico,
Yeah.
I was raised by my mom, completely, basically. I grew up there for 17 years, and I was the only one in the whole family that spoke fluent English.
Oh, okay.
Because I was just watching Cartoon Network and the Disney Channel and Nickelodeon all the time growing up. And, by process of elimination, the fact is most of them had the shows in Spanish. So that was fine. But, it got to a point, it's like, you know what? If I can just move a couple letters here and there, they sound the same. I can pinpoint what they mean exactly. And now here I am.
Yeah. How do you feel like? Do you feel like you benefited as a male being raised by your mom versus your dad? Because I feel like I'm definitely lucky that in ways that I was raised by my dad. Being female, kind of having that like male perspective, but I've also seen men that were raised by their moms that treated their moms terribly and women
No,
terribly. So
no,
I guess
no, not me. No,
it's
I
situational.
am not a Daryl Brooks fan. That guy deserves to be staked on the ground. If you know who Daryl Brooks is,
I don't.
No. Let us
Okay.
in.
He's a parasite. He's exactly what you just described.
Mm.
He was the one responsible for the Waukesha massacre in last year. If you heard about that news story,
Yeah.
No.
a guy basically threw a hissy fit because he was trying to abuse his girlfriend that he seduced at 14, right?
Mhm.
And her friends came and defended her, pushed him away, He got so angry at that he ran over a Christmas parade in Waukesha,
Oh,
injuring like 60 people and killing 6, one of them being a child.
oh boy. Yeah, it's not good.
And so, yeah, I understand completely where you're coming from. That guy, that thing isn't a human being. He's a parasite. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care that he looks like a human being. He is a parasite. Luckily that he got convicted, but I'm sorry, but I just have to say it. But to your original question, ma'am, I think I did, because mostly I was raised by my mom and 2 of my grandmothers. So, I had like basically the female trinity. I had my grandmother on my dad's side and my mom's side and my mom, and I had my uncles and my grandfather. So really, we were a pretty tight-knit family unit back in the day. Not now anymore, because we moved away because of economic reasons. But like, I don't think I would be the person I am today if circumstances were any different from what I had. And for that, I'm very
for sure. Yeah, raised by my mom with a weekend dad over here. That's me.
well. I didn't have a weekend dad.
Yeah, I'm the opposite. My dad raised me. Well, my mom took off when I was 3, so I did see her though on some weekends. So it's the same situation, and I have a younger half sister, Amy. So of course, I was wanting to see her all the time, and there's an 8-year difference, so it wasn't long before I could drive and pick her up and bring her over and things like that. So there's I am really, really glad that my dad raised me, though. Mostly because my mom's a very invasive person. And my dad never was. Like, my dad wasn't going through my room and things like that my mom would do to my sister. So I think that's helped me a lot be somewhat of a good partner, because I see so many people, a lot of my friends, that like snoop through their dudes' phones, and I can't stand that. Like, everyone deserves their privacy. Like, it's just wild. Like, you're entitled to your own conversations and the stupid shit you say with your friends and all of that. So, I mean, just that alone is a huge reason I'm glad my dad raised me, because, I mean, had my mom been doing that to me, I wouldn't even probably realize that I had no boundaries or that it wasn't okay. Like, because I think people really don't get how bad that is,
Yeah.
No, I understand completely.
It's like hacking. It's like hacking somebody's brain, right? Like, it's kind of like reaching into their mind and saying, like, well, what are you thinking about? Let me just like look at your shit without you, consenting.
Yeah.
That's not the parents' job. That's the government's job.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
We pay to invade our privacy. Damn it.
Yeah.
My tax dollars are not going so that some uppity parent can snoop through their kid's phone while the government can do it for me.
Right.
Damn it.
Shout outs to my FBI agent.
You probably have one, apparently.
You the MVP.
I probably got one. I probably got a whole squad after me.
A whole squad.
Well, it wouldn't make sense for them to assign any less than 3 per American, just to make sure the tax money is really being spent wisely, right?
What wisely? Yeah, very wisely.
You got to make sure all the bases are covered. 3 people per person. That's what I think.
How many members of the FBI even are? Like, what, 1,000?
Oh, I don't know. Probably officially, probably.
Yeah.
1,000, maybe. I don't know. Should we look it up?
No. This is a family thing. I don't want to get
the family theme. Well, what screams family more than FBI?
I don't know. Waco.
The family brotherhood of intelligence. The family brotherhood of intelligence.
That sounds like an evil faction in a D&D campaign, dude.
Independence, then. There we go. Now it's more patriotic. The family brotherhood of independence. There we go.
Now you're going into Fallout.
You're right. Yeah.
So none of us have grown up with married parents. So I hope we get some viewers soon and they want to let us know how they grew up. Like, start talking, everyone. Let's go.
My
Please.
friend
Oh,
is
here
here.
we go. Oh, yeah. Okay. Nothing new yet.
Yeah.
Is he afraid? Start talking, man.
Well,
I'd
You
be
told me you want to
afraid.
corral me.
that's all right.
I am afraid.
Well, that's a good segue into some stuff I found here while we were chatting. The etymology of family is a group of, well, the definition is a group of one or more parents and their children living together as a unit, which is kind of like small scale community, if you want to think of it that way,
Yeah.
too.
I do have a
Yeah.
question for you, Stormcrow.
Uh-huh.
Compared to American families, how do you think Puerto Ricans differ as far as family goes? Because I know a lot of people, I've heard time and time again that it's a very white people thing to do, to put the old people in old people homes. And I agree to an extent. I think that if, like, my grandmother was in a home when she needed memory care, like she had Alzheimer's very, very bad. And so it got to a point where she went to the neighbor's house and pounded on their back door and said my dad was like throwing her down and kicking her and stuff like that. So, it was, which definitely wasn't happening. And she was just really, really, she didn't know who I was. And so anyway, I think when they need a full-on staff that has been trained to deal with things like that, it's a little bit different. But, just because someone's old and they need help, washing themselves or going to the bathroom and things like that, I think it is pretty sad that we just put them in these death houses, as I call them. So anyway.
Yeah.
It's
Your
a bit complicated because, on the other hand, I understand where you're coming from with that, because right now my own grandmother is going through something similar, not to the extent where your grandmother went through with her Alzheimer's, but she is just a shut-in. She doesn't really like. I am. One of the things I hate for being here is because I'm not near her. That's the thing. I always want to take care of my own. I always want to make sure that she's okay. I always want to make sure that everyone else back home is doing okay. And I want them here. If I can't be there all the time, I want them here because I want them near me. So that gives you a good idea of how everybody else should be feeling at the very least. But right now she is at my own grandmother is at a nursing home. She was put there recently because it's gotten to a point where, listen, she's not eating properly, and it's more like she's just like waiting it out pretty much. And I don't.
Yeah.
Sorry to hear that, man.
Yeah.
It's really hard, and especially when you're not able to be there.
Yeah.
It kills me. It kills me every day because, yeah, I'm building my life up. Yeah, I'm going back to school, moving on with my life, but I didn't want it to be like that. Not at all.
Yeah. And, we're also at that age in life where it's just part of life over and over and over, unfortunately, just who am I going to lose next? And I think that's the way we look at death too, is probably a big factor in why so many people have anxiety, and just society in general is kind of falling apart. People say, "Oh, since COVID," but I mean, it's before that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, frankly, I don't really give a fuck about society. It didn't give a fuck about me while I was growing up, so why should I care? But I understand completely where you're coming from with that.
Yeah, well, I guess I mean, like, the whole, we don't even see our families because we have to work so much that it's all we do is work to survive, and we don't get to have the quality time with our family that we need to. And it affects society in that way,
Yeah.
Sorry if we sound so Minnesotan all the time.
know.
No, I understand. I understand completely, but
Come here,
Yeah,
Lucky.
there's that. I mean, one of my coworkers lost
Come
his
here, bud.
dad recently, like last week, and like I wish the guy's cool. I have his phone number, but what am I supposed to say? Like, I understand where you're coming from. Like, even to me, that sounds like so damn empty. Just hearing a stranger say that to me, you know?
You know, because nothing you say is going to fix that. Or, I mean, you can say things that I suppose. I got to go with the baby. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Excuse me,
Sorry,
Lord.
she's
Oh,
gonna-
you need me to move the cord. That's why. There you go,
Yeah.
sweetheart. Oh, Rolly's on his blanket over here. You boys are so sweet. Let's see what the baby needs.
Yeah. So
I'm sorry for coming off too negative.
say that again, buddy.
I apologize if I'm coming off too negative for this. You know,
Hey, no, you're good, Brown.
the troll master has a heart. If you guys don't know,
Who knew? With a heart of gold beneath all that.
yeah, except for Royce. Fuck Royce.
Beneath all that storm and all that crow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah,
So,
it sucks. I wish you know, if I had $1 billion, if I had that Bill Gates money, I would literally just buy a plot of land. Oh,
Do you want to say hi, babe?
oh, hey, cutie.
we got a little guest here.
Hey, cutie.
So it says here, in the early 15th century, servants of a household, from Latin familia, or family servants, domestics collectively, the servants in a household, thus also members of a household, the estate, property, the household, including relatives and servants. It's an abstract noun formed from famulus, servants or slave, which is of unknown origin. So the word family has slave origins, apparently.
Interesting.
And this is according to etymology. Wait, etymonline.com. So yeah, it goes into more details here, you know.
I mean, it makes sense because people expect their families to do, listen to me because I'm your family. Like, you're expected to do certain things for your blood. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah, I
Lucky,
think completely where that's coming from.
Okay,
But
come on,
I'm pretty
buddy.
sure.
Come on.
Well, the dark side to a family is, you know, the Yamhill kids. If you guys know what that is.
Say that again.
Well, with that in mind, I know completely where that idea is coming from, because on the dark side of a family idea, right? You got the Anthill kids. You know, you guys know what that is.
Oh no, fill me in.
Oh, well, the Anthill kids is something I do not want to talk about with the baby in front of me.
He can't hear you.
Yeah, he can't hear you.
I really do not want to talk about something that
weird,
horrible
yeah. It
with
would
the
be
baby.
weird. Yeah.
Yeah,
All right,
you know,
I'm
I
gonna
don't
go
want
see
to
if I
correct
can
you.
get him a little calmer, but wait to tell me.
Yeah, we'll hold off on that.
I didn't want him to get the baby out of the way. I just didn't want to talk about it, dude.
Oh, I understand. So yeah, it goes on to say, you know, the Latin word rarely appears in the sense parents with their children, for which domus or domestic was used. Derivatives of famulus include famula, which is like serving woman, maid, famulanter, and sorry for my pronunciation here, which is in the manner of a servant. And there's famulitas, which is servitude. Famularis, of one's households, private, you know. Famularicus, of a household slave, of household slaves. Oh, more. It just I didn't know that it was so strongly like tied to slavery here. Like, where is the? It says it even rarely appears in the sense of like parents with their children, but this is like early 15th century. So this is super.
This sounds Roman. This all sounds really Roman, the way they did it back in their day.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
to give you
it's
an idea of how they were even like taking the babies in, like if the woman, gave birth to the baby, right, and the man of the household,
mhm.
he finds the baby at the courtyard, right,
Yeah.
and he has to pick it up. And basically, if you pick up the baby, then you accept it into the household. That's it. That's your kid. You acknowledge it as your kid. But you can also be like, yeah, I don't really want the kid. Then the family is forced to like dump the kid out into the street.
Oh wow, yeah. That reminds me a lot of the Spartans.
The
Um,
Spartans just killed the deformed babies. I don't think they did that.
well,
The
if
Romans
it,
like the Romans are just like, yeah, you know what? I don't want him. I don't want you. I don't want you. That's
yeah,
fine.
yeah, practicing that post contraception since since 0 AD or whatever. So whenever.
Mm, mm.
But like the Spartans, I believe they would actually just toss the if you looked weak, they'd toss you. And by toss you, I mean like they'd leave you at the base of a mountain for the wolves, you know. But that wasn't to say that you were always like doomed. I believe
Why do you keep going
a lot
under
of
the chairs,
times.
buddy? What is your deal?
I believe a lot of times the helots would adopt the abandoned children. So like the slave class of the Spartans would find some of these abandoned children sometimes and adopt them. So
There we go.
yeah,
That's
it's
that's
really
the basis for
fascinating.
another book, man. Write
Say
that
again?
down. That's the basis for another book, man.
Oh yeah, for sure. All of history is. You could take one small aspect of, like for example, the story of Joan of Arc. Where would you even start with that? Do you start
It's
when she's waiting to die, or do you start all the way when she's a child and like first hearing the voices of God or whatever? You know, where would you start to tell that story? And if you tell it all the way from the beginning, how many books long is it? You know?
well, for my money, we could definitely use we got Hollywood bitching about strong female empowerment bullshit, right? Let us make a Joan of Arc movie, keep it completely 100% straight to the history books, and see them complain about, oh, this is a Catholic propaganda movie. Of course, they're gonna use this chick as a propaganda piece for them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I,
Yeah.
it is, it's something.
Hollywood likes doing that though.
Yeah, and that's the reason why they're failing miserably. They hate families. They hate people, and they don't even love themselves the way they should. They're failing even then, and they're all burning for it, and I'm very happy about that.
So hey, shout outs to Evele for listening this whole time apparently, and Mindflayer for coming back here. He
My
says
dude,
Mindflayer says the Spartans did far worse, and I'm sure they did. Yes.
No one says sweeten the meat. I just saw that.
No one says sweet.
No one says that. Shut up. No.
what
So
is it?
yeah, if Evele or Mindflayer want to come on, I can send them a link, but we will continue going.
Mind Flayer says that he's gonna corral me, get me under control. He says that I'm the Eldritch Knight. I have dark secrets of the universe, and demons make deals with me. And it's like, you can. Demons lost the war at creation, dude.
Yeah.
All right, Garth Ennis doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. Okay,
Yeah.
if you guys even know Garth Ennis,
No. Fill us in.
he's the dude who wrote the book for Preacher and The Boys.
And the boys.
Yep. The Preacher book, it's okay. The artwork is complete dog shit though. But The Boys, I hate The Boys. The comic and the show, it's just dumb.
A little more away here, so it's really loud.
But yeah, Eldritch Knight there thinks he can like control the storm.
Yeah.
Good luck, man.
Controlling the storm would be badass. What do you think?
I don't know. I was not listening. I was just thinking about how we have family we have our altar right in front of us with our deceased family members and
Oh,
animals. I don't want to say pets ever. I just want to say animals because they're also family. So I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. We're doing our family podcast, and they're like right behind the screen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's sweet. That's sweet.
yeah. My grandmother kept the ashes of her own family members nearby, basically, and I don't know. I have a weird feeling just
What is that?
keeping
That's
the
a-
ashes. But anyway,
I know it's a loon, but what is it coming from?
Outside.
No, it's not.
That was straight up a loon outside. Yeah. Minnesota says hi, internet.
That was here?
Yeah. It was a
Did
loon.
you play a noise?
On what?
Are you serious?
It was a
right
loon.
now?
It was a loon outside.
what's that? What's a loon?
Holy shit, you're right.
It's
I
a
wrote it
ridiculous bird
down.
that makes a ridiculous sound.
That is so crazy. That's our state bird, dude.
Yeah.
Shouting out.
Yeah.
Wow.
Minnesota says hi. Even the loons
No.
are
Yeah, there you
raising
go.
it today.
Dude, we always talk about how your dad visits us in birds, and we were just talking about our family members
Mhm.
up there.
Yeah.
And then we just get a shout out from a loon. That
Yeah.
sounds like, did you play that?
Nope.
There's a
You don't
glitch
hear
in the
fucking
matrix. Be
loons out.
careful.
What'd you say, Jose?
There's a glitch in the matrix. That's what happens when you're dealing with the storm crow.
You ever see those images?
No.
Those videos?
If you go on the subreddit Glitch in the Matrix, there's one that has fucked me
Ooh.
up for the rest of my life.
I just got a good idea for a book. Lich in the Matrix. Lich in the Matrix.
Anyway.
Yeah. Dibs.
I like to deal with Rocco's basilisk, if you know what that is.
I do. I studied it for my full length novel.
Okay, I'm gonna send you the creepiest.
I want to sleep good. You can send it to me first
you
tomorrow.
need to read this. And you need to read the comments because these people are not lying. They desperately are not, like, they're not lying because they desperately want to know what happened. And it's a family that, like, they were abducted, man,
While she pulls that
by
up.
aliens.
While
For
she
sure.
pulls that
I
up.
don't think it's a glitch in the Matrix. I think they were abducted by aliens.
Oh God.
Aliens are real, but that's cool and everything. Let me see Epstein's list. Here's
Yeah.
8 reasons why it would suck to be Spartan. Number 1, Spartans had to prove their fitness even as infants. And this is brought to you by the History Channel. They had to prove their fitness even as infants, Mind Flayer. You hear that? Infanticide was a disturbingly common act in the ancient world. But in Sparta, this practice was organized and managed by the state. Sounds familiar? Canada. All Spartan infants were brought before a council of inspectors and examined for physical defects, which we all know. And those who weren't up to standards were left to die, as I covered earlier. Yes?
I really think that I should just read this Glitch in the Matrix because it's about a family getting abducted.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Read it.
Go ahead.
When you're done with that, though, because I have to
I'll finish
monitor the baby, I might have to go. I don't know what his deal is.
If you wanna go
he
check
just
on him.
wants to. It's 8:46, so it's
Yeah, he's
bedtime.
getting
So he
tired.
does this.
He's
I'm
getting tired.
complaining because I'm tired and I'm gonna fight sleep.
Oh, wait.
Mhm.
It's 8:46 over there.
Yeah.
It's 9:47 right here.
8:47 now. It's 8:47 now, buddy.
Damn.
So you're like
It's 9:47 right here in Florida.
9:47. Oh, dang.
Okay, well, when you guys want me to read this, I will. I have it up.
Okay.
Go
Oh,
ahead.
yeah, go for it.
Okay, it's titled, I Guess We Won't Be Having Cake. Howdy, Reddit. My husband stumbled onto this sub and thought it would be a great place to share our story. I'm using a throwaway because we don't know what people close to us would think. This is the first time we've talked about this with anyone other than each other. I've read through some of the stories here, and I think ours fit. And that's crossed out, hope ours fits here too. I'd like to preface this by saying that neither my husband nor I do any sort of drugs, suffer from mental illness, or abuse alcohol. We drink on occasion, but had not been drinking this night. It happened about 8 months ago. We live in a small apartment with our 2 young children and our dog while we saved up for a down payment on a home. Lived, yeah. I don't know if I said live, but anyway. It was a typical Monday night around 7 p.m. We had just cleaned up after dinner. My husband was surfing the web and I was relaxing on the couch. I was reading the back of a cake mix, trying to decide if I had the time to bake it, let it cool, frost it, and eat it before I needed to be in bed. My husband was watching a video on the internet and he said something funny about it. We both laughed, and then bam, I woke up face down in bed. My clock read 8 o'clock exactly. My alarm had not been turned on. I was very confused and could smell the strong scent of coconut. I sat up and looked at my husband, who was also just waking up. He looked at me with a really confused look, and we both jumped out of bed and ran to our kids' room. They were in bed asleep. When we went into the living room and saw our dog, when we went into the living room and the second our dog saw us, she started whimpering and sort of army crawling towards us. It was such unusual behavior for her. I had never seen her act that way before and never have since. Nothing looked out of order in our apartment aside from one small detail. The cake mix I had been looking at that night was gone. I searched everywhere for that cake mix and never found it. Another odd detail from that day is that we were all dressed in our pajamas when we woke up except my youngest. He was in the jeans and t-shirt he had been wearing the night before. Neither my husband nor I would have ever put him to bed like that. Neither of us have any memory of getting into our pajamas or anything else after laughing at that comment he made on the video. We, already late for work, both called in sick that day. We spent the day talking about it and trying to make sense of it. At some point that day, he asked me if I had smelled coconut when I woke up, and we never found the source of the smell. To this day, I can't look at cake mix or smell coconut without feeling a little anxious and sick. Too long, didn't read, just bake the cake. So they go on to talk about this with people a lot in the comments. And the cake was not coconut flavored because, that's the first thing I thought of when somebody did ask about that. It's been a while since I've read the comments, but I mean, these people, are genuinely terrified of what happened. And so
That's
pretty crazy.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Oh, and they did go on to say like there was no radon or carbon monoxide, things like that. So like they really were searching for answers as to what could have happened. So the consensus is, alien abduction. And since we were all just talking about that too.
Should we look up alien family stuff?
How do alien families operate?
All right. Should we? I don't even know.
But if you want to read those comments, I can definitely send you the link to this because it's pretty interesting when they get into it.
Yeah, just put it on the Twitters. But holy shit, that's a fucking nightmare scenario from Lovecraft.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You find good inspiration in real life, man. It's crazy. Those subreddits are great.
Mind Flayer, take notes. We gotta use that for our campaign, dude.
Mm-hmm. No, for real, you
All
found
right, I
some
just
dope
posted
shit.
it on Twitter.
Thank you. I'll look it up later when I get done with smacking you both.
I see Evelay in the chat. Who are you talking about, buddy? Who are they? Does anyone know them? Are you talking about the Reddit?
I can't see the chat. I mean,
yeah, I just have like a separate window open. And I just,
got it.
I have the video
Go.
muted.
Good.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's the way it works. Like aliens, I don't know why, but I think be straight with me, guys. Do you think we're gonna get a Star Trek kind of alien, or are we gonna get the Xenomorphs kind of alien?
So it's really interesting. It really kind of looks more like Star Trek. It's leaning more towards Star Trek, I think. The Xenomorph.
Orcus will not
always
go back and forth because of this cord.
Xenomorph's always a possibility, but Star Trek is kind of the consensus I'm seeing. And I see Evelay responded. He said, yes, can anyone confirm it isn't just someone telling a cool story? Can you confirm? Is there any confirmation there, babe?
So beyond them actively engaging with the commenters and discussing it, no, there's obviously no proof. But unless you were there yourselves, there's never going to be any proof for that kind of a thing.
Right.
So
subreddits, do you like that?
Yeah, but I feel like I'm inclined to always believe people when they say things like that. I've had a lot of very unexplainable and crazy things happen to me in my life, so I'm just inclined to believe people when they say things like that. And there's some times where I'm like, bullshit, and
I
I guess
mean,
it just depends.
Yeah,
listen, I can tell you right now, I'll say this without bullshitting you right now. I think I've seen into the future a couple of times.
that's sick. I love see.
I literally can tell you how many times I have gone to sleep and I'm just like, I'm doing something that I'm gonna literally do in the tomorrow.
Mm,
Like I will literally tell you, okay, so I'm walking on this street, I have someone next to me, and I'm saying the exact same words that I said in the dream.
oh,
And
dude.
then by the time I find out, I realize I'm doing it, I'm like, I dreamt this before.
Say that again. Sorry, I got
That
my earpiece knocked out there.
Sorry. No. Um, like I can tell you right now that I have dreams where the next day I pinpoint exactly what I'm gonna say and how I'm gonna move and where I'm going to be at. And by the time I realize what's happening, right, it's already too late. Like, wait, whoa, I did this already, you know?
Yeah, like a sense of deja vu.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty common thing I've heard from people with, especially like with dreams. Like I want to say I may have even done it, but I couldn't tell you like anything particular. But like I know what you're talking about, like that weird sense, like this has already happened, or like I've already met this person before, or something.
Yeah. Yeah, like maybe it's because I'm so like routine based in what I do and everything I do every day that just happens. Like my brain is like, hey, you're gonna walk around here and you're gonna talk to this person again. This is what you're going to say. Like my computer is already like programmed to repeat the same process. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, almost like it's coming up with like predictive, like patterns that you're gonna be doing almost.
Yep.
Yeah, I could see that. The human brain does operate a lot like a computer. It is
Yeah, it's meat.
very odd. It is very odd.
It's our little meat computer. And we can fill it with some good stuff. Some wisdom and some knowledge. Or most of the time, what we're doing these days, we just fill up with porn.
Mr. Mindflayer here, he says there have been legit theories and study into precog. From a quantum standpoint, it's fascinating and also very possible. Evole Music says deja vu is a bizarre sensation, and I agree with both of them. And like precog, yeah, there's been like legit studies, and the government itself has actually looked into this kind of stuff before.
Oh
It
yeah,
is
remote
fascinating.
viewing, all kinds of
Oh
shit.
yeah. Police stations have hired people. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and there's been mediums that have actually been involved in finding like a lost child. Mr. Bond covers some of that too with the missing 411.
Yeah, shout out to Mr. Ballin.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
amazing. Good shit.
Well, there you go. I mean, listen, Dune, Frank Herbert, he knew what he was talking about with precogs, I think. I don't know. I mean, the human brain is so, like, such an unknown to us, even today. Like, we don't even know what it does at 100%. Like, maybe that's something that happened to those people. Like, their brain just activated the extra 1% and it just went out of control for a little minute, and there you go. You know?
So I just saw a comment about the deja vu thing. So I used to have dreams all the time. And I was like, it felt like deja vu in my dreams, but I didn't know like I was with a man in my dreams. So I was like, am I dreaming about the future? This is really weird, right? And it wasn't like, I'd be dating someone else and I kept having dreams about this like man, but I couldn't see his face and like whatever. And there was a few things that happened early on in my relationship with Andy where it like convinced me I was having dreams about him before I knew him. So, yeah, it makes me wonder stuff like that for sure.
It's
And
destiny.
what?
It was destiny.
Yeah. And this is what Stormcrow was actually talking about. It's like kind of seeing the future with his dreams and stuff. So that's awesome.
I mean, when I try to imagine my future wife, I just see a rope. I don't know what that means. Is that bad?
No comment.
Depends on the future.
Well, I mean, it could be exciting depending on how you use the rope, I guess. But no, you should just. I was gonna say you should just have this one because it tastes bad. I don't want it.
I could. Very well could. Right, Stormcrow. Let's see here.
But yeah, those dreams I think started. I mean, before I was even an adult. I think I've been having those dreams for a long time, and not often, but maybe every couple of months. And it would be like a certain conversation I was having with that person, or driving through a tunnel, like just really random things like that.
It's amazing. Like, I genuinely, like, I'm very happy I got to meet all of you people because I can never talk about any of this stuff with my family. Like this really esoteric, brainy kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
a lot of people feel very differently about things. I get that.
Yeah. Dreams are crazy. Like, on the other hand, I don't dream at all. I haven't dreamt since I was a kid.
That's the cannabis, baby. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
You need to
makes
do
life a dream.
You need to do the Trippy Soul method and just do a lot of shrooms. That helps you out a lot.
Shout out to Trippy Soul. Me and him are always like we're shouting at each other over over the other voices in the chat whenever like the subject gets brought up. Like, yeah, man.
Yeah.
And some people are like, oh, poo weed.
So when we talk about things that are like destiny or fate or things that were meant to be, I think you can have a lot of, I don't think you necessarily only have one soulmate. I think that your energy can be highly compatible with more than one person. And like the whole idea of twin flames has been really misconstrued to like be like a next level soulmate, where I think that, it's rare for you to like connect with your twin flame. That is, if you even believe that. And it's more of a different thing, more like, I don't know, if there's soul splitting, for example, you could be like the two parts of it, because we could all be part of one massive consciousness, just like split off into branches. I
kind of like that idea. Yeah.
And, things like that really make me wonder too. But like,
is a thing.
And there's parts of our brain that obviously, like, why wouldn't you be able to astral project and things like that? Because, I mean, they've actually recorded the weight of a soul. So you might not believe that there's, but there's like that little fraction that goes away when you die. And then how do you explain when, like, for example, Andy and I, we were together for a couple months at the time, and neither of us had said the word before at all. And at the same exact time, we told our dog he was a dickhole. A dickhole. Like, so random for us to both say that at the exact same moment.
You're being a dickhole at the same time.
And then one time we both, before we had kids, we both said at the same time, our children will be so worldly. Like, who says shit like right in tandem too? So, and there's been times where I'll start to feel nauseous, and right away he's like, do you feel nauseous? Or I'll get a headache. Do you have a headache? I'm like, what the So there's definitely some energy connections. And then they do those, there was a study I should try to find it so I actually know what I'm talking about. But basically, they showed an image. Let's say it was in America. They showed a group of people an image and said how many I know this wasn't it, but how many triangles do you see in this photo? And they said, say 50. Everyone said about 50. And then they did the same study over in Europe or something like that. And everyone saw like 250. And then they did it again in America, and then they saw more. So it was something about like a kind of like an energy grid where we share information and how animals in different places like their instincts kind of an evolution ramp up together even though they're apart, if that makes sense. So I think there's a lot to energy and information sharing through, like water is supposed to hold energy. People talk about playing music or singing or talking nice to plants, and if you talk bad to them, they have different growth.
Yeah.
Energy is just very powerful.
Oh, Evele here says he dreams about twice a week and can remember the dreams about once a month or twice maybe. They're almost always stress related though.
I highly suggest getting a dream journal to everyone. So as soon as you wake up, write it when it's really, really fresh, every little detail, and then hit me up because I love.
Yeah, what were you saying?
Oh, did you
All right.
throw your drumstick?
All right. Let me give you a quick little rundown of the dream. This is
go
why
for
I
it.
literally bought a journal to write down. Okay. So basically, it was literally for some damn reason I was like a private eye, right? And the two of us were like investigating like the first neighborhood I ever lived in, which is near my
That's
maternal
sick.
grandmother's neighborhood as well, right? Yeah. And it was like these really like 2-story apartment buildings that were like really close together, right? And for some reason, hold on, give me a minute.
Are we dream sharing right now? Is that what we're about to do? I feel like that's a whole
Something like
theme
that.
for an episode is we could just like have people on and just share their craziest dreams. We should do that.
But yeah, write that down for next episode. But
Yeah.
basically, to finish up, as we were driving to our apartment, my first house that I can remember, I heard like a scream, like just like this really like 1950s style scream from movies, and we both pull out our fucking revolvers, right? And what we do, good detectives too, we try to investigate. Literally, I'm the first one to go back inside the house,
Things
and then when I looked back to see if my partner was there, he's gone. And then everything just goes like dead quiet. I'm in my old house. It's completely dusted. There's nothing there. And that's when I wake up.
Oh dang. So you go to so the important thing with like dreams, as far like at least with what I've learned from interpreting them, is like picking out some of the key details. So like you said you were with a buddy.
Like like how in some crime dramas you always have like that partner, your partner in crime, right?
Yeah.
I can't remember his face, but I just knew there was someone there, like a cop buddy, right?
Yeah.
And we were both wearing like these really like cheesy 1950s detective suits with these really, thick shooters, right? And we're just investigating like the first home I remember.
So you were you were like displaced in time as well then.
Yeah.
So it's like not a normal, it wasn't present time. It was the past. So you're in the past with somebody you can trust, or you feel like you can trust, but it's like business related, right? So it's like somebody you trust within like your job, or like something that you feel a sense of duty towards. And you said you were investigating the oldest house you can remember growing up in. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so like there's a lot of symbolism with houses, especially your house, that you grew up in that represents kind of like the stability of your entire life. Like a house is kind of like a metaphor for your life, or like, you know, your life is your house, your world is your house. You know what I mean? So in the past, with somebody you trust, investigating the oldest house you can remember growing up, there's a lot of past stuff going on here. And you said you go in there and it's all dusty. You said what other details about it when you go in there?
I remember that before I can even open the door has like this white rusted in gate that you have to have a key to open first. Then you can open the door to the house. So, like, I don't know how, but somehow I didn't even need to open the gate. I ran towards the gate. I somehow got inside the house. My
Hmm.
partner wasn't there inside the house with me. I tried to call out for the guy, and I already have the key to the house, right? And
Yeah.
I'm just looking around frantically, like, wait, what? What happened here? But I think that's when my brain caught up.
Hmm. So there was like a gate too that you had to get past, and it was like an old rusted one. She's bringing the dog outside quick. He needs to go pee. So yeah, it's that whole scenario is just really fascinating to me because I feel like all that stuff in the dream is your mind telling you stuff, you know? Or like trying to solve problems. I don't
Yeah.
know. One of the oldest dreams I remember from when I was a kid was I remember I was like coming home from school or something, and I got to my house, and like there wasn't much going on in the dream. And like, granted, I haven't dreamt in years and years, so, but like I just remember coming home and like my mom didn't remember who I was. You know, I was a little kid at the time, so I mean that's terrifying when you're a little kid. You come home and it's like nobody even knows who you are. Oh, man.
Yeah.
It was super creepy at the time. Yeah, I do remember having like nightmares of vampires too.
Man, this is the second episode we got to do sometime, man. I'm
Ooh.
telling you.
I had a recurring nightmare where I was lost in the woods. Yep, that shit's
Oh,
that shit's so messed up when you're lost in the woods, dude. Just imagine the dream just starts and you're already in the woods and you're already lost. Like, where are you? Who knows? Start walking. Who cares? And it's like go from there. And it felt so real, man. It was so messed up, and it like recurred. I don't understand what the deal with that is, but like a feeling of being lost. I can see all the symbolism there in the dream, for sure, especially as an adult looking back. But
it's I mean, a forest. There's some deep psychological, ancestral psychology going down with forest, man. I mean, we have the inferno. That's literally how it starts. Wandering in a dark forest, and where does the dark forest lead you? To hell.
right, the hell? Oh
So
shit!
yeah, Dante's
That's not good.
Inferno.
That's not good. That's not good. I was having a dream about hell. Is that what you're telling me?
No. But what I'm saying is the forest specifically, collectively, human beings have like an innate fear of the forest, you know?
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, yeah.
Which is why Dante Alighieri, with Dante's Inferno, it starts off with a dark forest where all the road to Rome was lost.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah. What else would swallow up the roads of Rome other than
The forest.
forest?
Yeah,
The thing
nature.
that was there before they were built. It's a poetic finish. Man,
Yeah.
some of those Roman stories are so awesome. Evole Music asks, why is Dante so famous? I don't know. Dante's Inferno. Yeah.
Dante's Inferno is really famous because I'm maybe fudging my history a little bit here, but he was like the first first writer to like codify, like to conceptualize what hell would look like to people. You know, because back in the
Yeah.
day, they just had to go off the word of the preacher because people back in the day, most of them read. That was something that clergy did most of the time. The Dante Alighieri in the Renaissance era, people were starting to read a lot more. He like gave them what hell could be like based off the seven deadly sins. You know, so pride, envy, lust, wrath, heresy, fraud, gluttony, all of these things that, frankly, we are dealing with today, right now. Is it fair to say that?
Mm-hmm. And
Like,
and pride leads to all of them. It's ironic.
yeah,
No, if you're gonna start like establishing a setting for hell, a good place to start would be the seven deadly sins, and just like trying to personify and
and that's what he
derive.
did.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's great. It's great. Yeah, because then all you got to like it really writes itself, right? Because then you have a list of words in front of you. You're like, oh, gluttony. All right, I'll just start imagining gluttony, the hell of gluttony,
Yeah,
right? And then you just start
yeah,
having fun with it. Really, it's a good idea.
yeah,
Dude,
yeah. Like
it's,
Movie Bob. Movie Bob is gluttony. If you
say that
know
again.
who that guy even is, Movie Bob, gluttony.
Oh yeah, no, no, actually, fill me in on that.
It's he's if we have Razor Fist, right?
Mm-hmm.
Movie Bob is the anti Razor Fist.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
You know?
Yeah. Well,
So there's
thank God
that.
for Razor Fist and people like him. Shout outs to the Iron Age, really, and all of us indie creators here fighting the good fight. We need people speaking their voice, you know,
Yeah, we need
coming
them
together,
speaking their truth. We need them speaking their truth, you
speaking
know?
their truth. Yeah, putting their truth forward. Not the truth, putting the truth forward, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
We were
I
talking
missed this
about.
one earlier. Mr. Mindflayer, he says, bro, I don't dream either, or at least I don't remember it. And that's probably where I'm at too. Like I don't get it. Like my wife will tell me sometimes when she has a nightmare and stuff, and I'm just like, I can't remember the last time I dreamt anything. I can't. And when I
Well,
do, it's like not a good dream. And that's probably the only reason I remember it, you know? So
well, that's probably because he was dumb and he sold his dreams to devils for, I don't know, gold or something.
Cthulhu released a dream eater god.
Mm.
Yeah,
It's
it's the
never
first
don't.
it's the first precursor of the dream eater god coming forth. Is everybody on earth ceases to dream and then slowly has the same nightmare, and then it heralds the approach, right?
Yep.
Right, he
That's
eats
what
the
I told him,
dreams,
man.
and
He's gonna
yeah, because like that's the
stop
thing
fucking
with
about with the demons.
yeah, because that's the thing with like the Lovecraftian gods, right? It's always a lot of it is dream related and sanity related, and that's where you get the real cool stuff about it, because who really touched on that kind of stuff other than like Edgar Allan Poe, maybe a few other offshoots, but
And Chambers, Robert W. Chambers too.
nice, yeah. But yeah, like dreams have always been fascinating. Can you imagine being like some among the first people, and then you guys all kind of realize you have these psychedelic experiences when you're laying immobile on the ground for 8 hours? The sun goes down and we decide, like human beings, just like some sort of weird plant, just like shut off, or like like some sort of living robot. We just shut off. We go immobile for 8 hours, and we have a psychedelic experience within our minds. where we're in a different world a lot of times, or a different time with different people that we've met before but we haven't. It's super weird.
It is. But I
Super
mean,
weird, bro.
imagine what the aliens are dreaming about.
Yeah. Have you heard theory of like, well, this is probably the concept for a few books, honestly, but like the fact that, when you dream, you're seeing through somebody else's eyes, right? What if that's
Yeah,
the case with them aliens?
I've never seen through another man's eyes that were not my own. I'm like firmly rooted in my own consciousness. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Is that a good thing? Like I'm so centered like that.
It's all right. A lot of people like to be grounded and like present, right? That's good.
Yep.
That's good.
Or that's probably because my Asperger's just doesn't work with me that way.
Hey, when I sit for a long time, I get Asperger's, but that's a different kind, I think. Mindflayer chimes in again and says Poe laid a foundation. Lovecraft, Chambers, and Bierce used that as a starting point and ran. And then he says, "You guys know that we have figured out no evolutionary reason for sleep, right?" I did know that. Yeah, it's yet to be explained. A lot of people think that it's just what happens when your brain is like going to the bathroom. Essentially, it's like cleaning itself. It's taking a shower. When you go unconscious at night, the blood vessels in your brain turn into waste vessels. So the same like veins that all your blood travels through, then like ejects the waste that's built up from in your brain throughout the day. And something about that causes dreams. I don't know, but like cue the movie as soon as like the cleaning team comes in. Basically, it's weird. It's super weird. That's the closest we've gotten, is like seeing that happens, but there's no real reason for like the actual dreaming. It hasn't been explained. But there is stuff going on while you're sleeping,
That's probably a better idea that we don't figure it out because, listen, I do not trust the thinkers we have today. If they figure it out, that they're going to do something good with that knowledge,
Oh yeah.
There's some secrets in the universe are better left untouched.
No, I understand that.
In my
Yeah.
opinion.
And in that same vein, Evele says, he's not on board 100% with evolution, and that's fair. Like a lot of people have, they're different opinions, and that's fine. Like there's a lot of things that can't really be fully proven. You know what I mean? And those are actually some of the most fun things to think about. I like to approach everything with an open mind. Like, you say, "Hey, bro, I had this dream the other day, and I think I kind of saw into the future a little bit." I'm going to be like, "Dude, tell me about it." You know what I mean? I want to hear about it. I'm not going to be, why write something off? You know what I'm saying?
No. This whole last 4 years have taught me every dark conspiracy concerning the government is probably true. So if someone tells me, "Hey, I probably saw an alien abduct someone last night," I'm not gonna think they're nuts immediately. I'm probably gonna think like, you know what? Everything else is so fucking crazy. You might be telling the truth for once. Let's see what you got to say.
No, for real. Yeah. No, the fascinating thing is the similarities between some of these cryptid stories and alien stories and stuff. Nearly identical in some cases, down to the detail, and a lot of these people are not like the crazy moonshiner out in the forest that was just too drunk and thought he saw a UFO or whatever, or the person who's on the internet all day. Some of them are just like straight up like normal ass farmers that are just living their life, that don't really care, you know what I mean? Or like really credible police officers. We've seen all of the pilot videos recently released on the news and stuff. But yeah, it's just like really fascinating. Like when you start like looking into some of them, and then you start seeing certain details within each of the stories repeat themselves. Like, oh, they look like that too. That's weird. Because this guy doesn't seem like he really devours this kind of information. He just seems like a normal guy, you know. So I don't know. Just saying.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Like
that's why there's.
you go.
That's probably one of the reasons why I don't think we're gonna get the Star Trek kind of alien. I think more than likely, something me and Mindflayer are doing, we're probably gonna get like a mixture of a xenomorph, Lovecrafty kind of alien, something way more advanced than what we are, and use this as a food source.
Use
Okay,
this as
I
a
do
food
not
source.
at all believe we're gonna. Yeah, use us as the same way we view cows or pigs, essentially.
Views us. Yeah.
Like I'm sorry, man, but Gene Roddenberry was full of shit. We're not gonna get space elves or hot green alien babes for partners in space. That's not gonna happen.
Well, when you think about biology and just like, okay, so Evole again, I'm a skeptic to a fault, but I'll hear out most views. Like, yeah, I agree with that, and that's kind of like the way I approach it. Like, somebody who's truly open-minded can hold two thoughts in their mind at the same time, in my opinion. you don't have to fully believe either of the thoughts to just hold them in your mind at the same time, right? And you just like temporarily hold on to them. So like when you look at the way life works and seems to point to how it like formed and stuff, if there is like other aliens and stuff, they're probably either going to be very similar or very different. So like I like to think of like the what if scenario. I like to think of, we were talking about Dante's Inferno earlier, how he took the 7 deadly sins and just kind of personified them or whatever and created a setting out of them. What if you did that? If you did that, but for aliens and for like all the different forms of life on Earth, right? So you take insects and you say, evolve them to the point where they're sentient, like humans, right? Or we're to the point where they're their own race. You take reptiles, you do the same thing. You take fish, you do the same thing. You take birds, you do the same thing. All these different examples of what life can possibly be, and just bring them to their final realized step. And that's actually, I think, where where we're the territory we're going to go into a little bit, but still not likely. I don't know. It's hard to say though, because like, what if insects only get so big, for example, because of like certain Earth-like reasons? Like maybe they're completely unique to just the Earth.
It's funny you mentioned that because there's a book series that came out a while ago called The Children of Time, and they basically took the concept of sapient spiders, and you see spiders basically gain human sentience over time, and you
That's
see the
creepy.
book as it. And these spiders are actually really good. Like you're probably thinking like giant Shelob monster spiders. No, these spiders are actually really cool. I would have a beer with them, and they had like this really amazing. If this is like animated, like these guys have like a sign language, but with like spider webs,
Interesting.
and they use like ants to like create like basically like their own version of the internet.
I've heard about this. What is this again?
Children of Time.
Children of Time. I've heard about this. I seriously have heard about this.
It's really good.
Yeah.
It's really good. It's hard sci-fi, but it's hard sci-fi that's really fun.
Isn't it plausible, the whole ant thing?
What?
Like the whole idea of the ant thing in that story, isn't it technically plausible?
I am not a natural biologist, okay, but I think it could be. I don't know. That's what I want to do with my own story. Basically, do that.
I heard it was plausible from somewhere. I can't remember though. I can't remember though. No, when you first said spiders, my first thought was Love, Death, and Robots. I don't know if you watched that show on Netflix.
I not all of it, but I know about it.
Yeah, there's this episode where this dude is, man, I don't know. He's traveling through space on a spaceship. It's he wakes up and he goes through this like whole storyline on the episode, and at the end you just find out like it's basically like he's been brainwashed by an alien spider thing, you know.
Mm.
And you know, when his reality comes true, he looks down and he's like, he's all emaciated and dirty and old and stuff, and this thing has just been making him fall in love with it over and over again for like years or something. And it's like
That's
super creepy, man. I
sir.
suggest
I
watching
have,
it.
sorry, I have to ask you. Do you know of a book called "I Have No Mouse and I Must Scream"?
I've heard of it. I like to say that all the time, but I haven't read it yet. I need to read it.
It is me and my flavor. It is probably one of the more disturbing, if not the most disturbing sci-fi book I've ever read.
Isn't it just like a super short story too?
It is super short, but there is so much that this guy packed into that short story. You know, like you're gonna have like 4-hour movies out of that book.
It's pointed
You
to
know?
as one of the like a really good just like a really good short story, but like for how short it is and what it packs in, just like you said. And Evele here says, like when a bee can fly in a hurricane wind and be unaffected, and humans are floored. Meanwhile, we're far more advanced. Yeah, like that exact same thing. And a bee can fly in a hurricane. I didn't even know that. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, man. I mean, listen, this is something that the Bible teaches us. Man is nature's enemy. We decided to take the fruit of knowledge, and we have completely separated ourselves from nature, and nature does not like that at all.
I can see that.
I just try to really keep in mind that the Bible was written by men, and men tend to lie. People wrote the Bible. People have historically been liars, and so I take it with a huge grain of salt. Just like history, we say like, oh, we whitewash history and this and that, and it's like, yeah, but all history, unless it's like, I mean, even well documented history, it's sometimes I gotta raise an eyebrow and wonder if it's accurate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just have a really hard time believing people, and it's only going to get worse with deep fakes out there, man. It's wild. And I'm not trying to shit on anyone's religion or Bible or anything like that. I know we all came from the same source. I just, instead of God or gods, I just say the universe, and as like my blanket statement for whatever created us. So I try to just be really inclusive and not offensive in that way.
No, I understand. Speaking of that, to bring it back into families, this theme of family in this episode, ma'am, do you see in the future a point where men and women are going to be so like isolated in their own rooms that they're going to create like deep fake families for themselves instead of making real ones?
Creepy.
Yep, it's happening.
Well, you can already
You can already
add your photos together to like see what your kids look like. I've seen those weird little like apps or like the Facebook apps where you like take a quiz, like what kind of pop can or piece of trash are you, like a crumpled up pop can or chip bag. I've seen ones like that. So I mean, you can like see what your kids look like. So people are gonna do that and just make deep fake videos, I'm sure, of their family.
That would be a cottage cheese container that sat in the sun for 3 hours. That would be the piece of trash I would be.
I would be a Band-Aid with poop on it.
Dang,
I would be
there's no questions there.
I would be a used bloody condom.
I used what?
Bloody condom.
Oh man, there's questions there too.
I just got a
No,
really bad flashback. Not for me.
Oh.
I was staying with this this guy in New York, not like as a couple or anything, like just staying there. I was his friend, and he had like a loft style bedroom. So I briefly stayed with him, and in return, I was like taking care of their dogs and walking them and stuff like that in the apartment because he had roommates and stuff, and like some groceries, whatever, stuff like that. And stop it, dude. He had a loft style, so I was sleeping on this futon, and his bed was in a loft above it. And he would like bring home random girls from the bar like all the time, like right above me. So uncomfortable. But like they like got stop, dude. One time he and whatever lady he had over like got done. They're like, "Do you want to go up to the roof and have a cigarette with us?" And I'm like, "Sure." And like, you know, I could hear that he was not gentle, just like pounding her up there or whatever. They're like walking up to the roof in front of me, and there was like blood running down her fucking leg, dude. And I felt so bad for her.
Oh,
I was just like,
wow.
No.
Ow, dude.
so it just reminded me that I'm gonna fucking murder him. What
Yeah.
the fuck, Marcus?
My dog is so jealous that my wife
What
is
is your fucking
sitting
problem?
in here with me.
Get over here.
He's so jealous that she's sitting in here with me that he needs to like throw a tantrum and
Dude, you woke the baby
bark.
up, you fucking asshole.
And he woke the baby up. So
God damn it.
yep. So
Oh boy. Can they
Yeah.
can they lock him outside if it's getting like that bad?
well, we
You
could.
woke the baby up and now he's fucking unhappy. Come here and sit down.
Oh no,
Dude, I'm not happy with you. Come on.
Well, here, babe. You want to come? You want to come over here and then we'll wrap this thing up real quick.
Dude, I'm so fucking mad at him right now for doing this.
Oh, that's all right.
No, it's not all right that he wakes up the baby like
That's
this.
not all
He
right.
literally went right up to the baby who was sleeping and started fucking barking in his ear.
Because he's jealous that you're in here with me. I was just explaining that. Yeah. The dog is a little jealous and possessive of us, and this is our first podcast, so he doesn't know what's going on. But we'll go ahead and wrap this up since we've been going for
Unless we're
about
talking about
an hour and 22 minutes here. We'll wrap it up here. And with
Wow. Wow, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
We can't even
Go us, right?
fucking like hug without the dog wanting to also hug us at the same time.
Yeah. He was literally
My
in here
He's
under the
so
chairs.
needy. He's so needy.
My dog does the same thing. He like gets under my chair when I'm eating and like when I get home. He doesn't jump at me. He like tries to like tackle me to the floor so he can hug me and lick me at the same time. I get a golden
Yeah.
doodle.
Orky does that. He like if we were trying to get him out of our room to like have us time, he'll like hide his head under the bed like we can't fucking see him. It's ridiculous. He's the biggest baby in the world.
Yeah.
He's so invasive. Seriously, he's the most invasive dog I've ever seen in my life.
Yep. He's a big baby, man. He's like half German Shepherd, half Pit. So he's got all the brains of a Shepherd and all the heart of a Pit. So
You trained him, right? You got him trained?
he's a good boy, yeah.
Oh no, I'm just asking
Okay.
because
First of all, for people making fun of our accent, I gotta
No.
lay this out there. It's not bag,
No.
motherfuckers. It's bag. And no, I'm not saying it like I'm begging for something. That's with an E. So B-E-G is bag. Bag. Bag is a bag. A, eh. Bag. It's not the same thing. Just so you know.
hey, you're preaching to the choir, man. I understand. I ain't judging here. You know?
So, in the interest of levity here, Stormcrow, what have you been working on lately? What can we expect from you in the future?
All right. Well, I wish I could say that I have like a book trilogy and 15 books ready to go, so I can make that fat fuck George R. R. Martin like piss in his breeches because he's a lazy fuck. But
Yeah.
the truth is, I do not have any of those things. I wish I did. But instead, I can say that me and Mind Flayer are doing something very beautiful. We are doing our very own Critical Role style podcast. As in, we are going to have like a story arc with characters but
We've
with
been
no fucking budget
Dude, we've been
to.
talking about doing that for a long time, so I'm really excited that people we know are doing that.
Thank you. And basically, I don't want to give away too much of what we're doing, but I can say that it is to give you an idea of what I'm doing. Basically, it's just me and him right now developing the world and the characters.
Mhm.
And two of the characters that he tells me, okay, the first one I made, his name was Saul Rojas, Saul. I can't see.
Yeah,
It's too lighty.
yeah. Saul
His name
Rojas.
is, yeah, Saul Rojas.
Oh,
Yep.
is that a
And
Baidu?
It just says I don't need to write it down. I'll remember me at the store, and then it's Joe Biden.
And it's Joe Biden.
Hmm.
Good luck
I'm
remembering.
not trying to interrupt. That's what I was just trying to.
So Saul Rojas, is that what you said?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And basically, after King Saul and Rojas, because red,
Mhm.
and he told me, okay, Starcrow, this character needs to have like his own book series, and we cannot, since you're doing this as a first timer. I never had any friends to play D&D with. All right, don't judge. I never had any friends. All right,
Oh, yeah,
fuck,
I get
don't
it.
judge me. Don't judge me. Anyway,
Would
he
never
told me,
do that.
okay. He told me, okay, this is too. We can do a lot of stuff with him, but the problem is that this is your first time, so I need you to like tone it down. So then I said, okay, you know what? I'm gonna tone it down. Bob McLeod, and Bob McLeod is an Irish, half Scottish, half Irish, corrupt city cop, and basically it just gave me an excuse to be completely racist with Scottish and Irish people.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
the first time we start playing, you're gonna hear me try to do like a half Scottish, half Irish accent, and that's gonna be fun.
Oh, that'll be fun to work on too, and then it can transition into like voice acting and stuff like that.
Yeah. And then basically 2 days ago, as I was walking on the store, we were talking about another one shot we could do to like prepare for the campaign we're gonna do for all of you guys. And he told me, so there's this game where basically you're just doing like a pitch meeting to Ghostbusters style, like you're role playing the guys pitching a meeting to start like a ghost hunting company. And I thought to myself, okay, what would make me stand out? Like what would make us different? And I just said paranormal paramours.
Oh yeah, that's cool. That's a good name.
And yeah, and I told them, all right, the pitch is me and two other players are retired porn stars fighting ghosts. And instead of fighting ghosts, we're going to seduce them back into their bodies so we can give them a proper burial.
Because that's the only way you can be Ghostbusters.
Yeah,
That's the true way.
but we've already trained on busting, man. We already got that down to the science.
Yeah.
And
Hell yeah, man.
I'll wrap it up with this. And sorry.
Wait, no, you go. Sorry.
I'll wrap it up with this. Saul Rojas is a character that I'm more excited for anything about to do because he told me, okay, so basically your idea was you're going to have like a R-rated, you would say Yatsuda parody with Saul Rojas and an Elephant Lead chick. And I it's cute how you think you were gonna get that. And then he basically made me feel depressed. He told me, yeah, so basically I'm gonna put you in like I'm gonna make you feel so horrible about the way you wrote your character because you wrote your character to be a psychopath. I was like, no, I did not. Yes, you did. What did I do to make him a psychopath? Well,
That's fun.
Yeah.
well,
You gotta
Oh man, if you can hear a dog chewing on the bone, sorry.
No, don't worry. He told me, well, the reason why I say he's a psychopath is because at 14, he saw a girl get bullied, a girl he liked. So
Hey,
you, as the character, went ahead and carved the bully's face up, Joker style. He's like, yeah, I did that. And the girl's not appreciating me. That's a problem. That's number one. Number two, you saw another kid get bullied in school, and the first thing you do is you fight all of the bullies, and you've put 5 of them at the hospital. 2 of them are never going to walk again.
Well,
And-
that's what bullies get, right?
Yeah, and
Maybe
I'm
a
more
little bit
concerned
too
about
much.
no, I'm more concerned with the first one. It's like if a girl carved up a girl who was making me feel bad, I would think that's pretty hot.
Yeah.
You know?
Whoa. Yeah. Well, I don't know about hot, but
Man, wouldn't you appreciate if your husband carved up a bitch who was making you feel bad?
depends on how bad.
Okay, that is true.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
only saying that half kiddingly, by the way.
I know. I get your viewpoint too, you know. It's like they love you a lot, you know, and they're willing to fight for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's what we're doing. I wish I could say that I have books for you guys, but I can promise you this. I am trying to make it. I'm trying to make it something good.
Yeah.
All right, because if I cannot have, that Game of Thrones quality, I want you guys to feel, at the very least, that it has like a heart.
Mhm.
Like I want you guys to, if it ever gets published, you, Katie, and you, Mr. AC, I want the 2 of you to be like, "Hey, Stormcrow, this book was kind of retarded, but I can tell that you put a lot of heart and soul into this. I'm interested to see where it goes."
Well,
I think we'll enjoy it.
yeah, like and I don't think I'm ever gonna like think somebody's stuff is stupid, you know. Like I don't know. We all start somewhere, and you just
You'll work hard on it.
think of it this way: you can't fix an empty page, but you can always fix whatever you fill that page with. So just get it done. Just get it done, and then stare at it long enough until it turns into that quality that you're looking for. Because I heard you mention George R. R. Martin quality a couple times, you know, and it's like he was writing it before it published. He was writing it for a long time before it published in '93, you know, and that dude, that's like his life's work, kind of. So, I mean, that's the comparison is like you're comparing somebody's life's work to where you're just starting off, and I mean that's a good bar. It's a good bar to set, you know.
Yeah, but I mean, when I say that, I'm thinking of making you guys feel something.
Yeah.
Like
It would
I'm more than happy.
Go ahead.
I'm more than happy if it was like a Robert E. Howard style. Hey, 100 pages, short story, making you guys feel something, giving you some good laughs, and that's it.
Yeah, like a novel, like
I would-
a short one.
I would love if we got a D&D game going where we played a campaign live like this. That would be fucking awesome.
Mhm.
Yeah, and we can invite maybe Mind Flayer and Otter and Trippy Soul if you want to go in that way. Not Royce. We cannot have Gaines here.
We just got a roommate that's a DM too, so he's pretty charismatic.
Yeah, Kyle's good shit.
Yeah, he understands the rules and stuff. He's pretty cool, so we probably
And
maybe do something.
also, Otter invited me to play on the next campaign he's doing, and that's gonna be a lot of fun. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, Otter's the dude.
hopefully nobody tries to kill me because
My
mean-
character is pretty killable, but I'm a changeling sorcerer, and I have had a disguise and a lot of cool shit. So I have super charisma, and I just fuck with people constantly. Like, I mean, the crazy shit.
She might be able to help you seduce some ghosts back into some bodies.
Whatever.
She actually
I'll
would be
figure
a
it
great
out.
Ghostbuster for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I can. Whatever you guys need, I can figure it out because I can turn into anyone, and like you would believe that I am your
Grandma.
anyone,
Yeah,
like your
your
own
mom.
mom, yourself maybe.
Yeah, you'd be impressed at how much like you she is when she is impersonating you right in front of you.
Yeah, it would make you
That's
question if
Yeah.
you were you or not. So
That's a horror protagonist right there, man.
Oh, it's
Damn.
great.
it's cool. Plus, I get unlimited gold because I can just rob someone and then immediately run away and then change into someone else and run up like, oh my god, you need help,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. And her character doesn't always want to fight too, so it's like it's nice. It's not like straight OP murder hobo type stuff. It's pretty cool because she doesn't want to exactly. Anyway, where can people find you, Storm Crow?
They can find me most of the time right now on Gilded, or they can locate me right now on Twitter. I'm not that active. I just like to comment on other people's tweets, you know.
Yeah.
But so far, the reason I'm enjoying your beautiful company is because pretty soon, sadly, I will be called to deal with real life and start schooling for college. I'm going to be doing HBC, but that will not mean that I will stop hanging out with you, beautiful people.
What
Okay.
are you going to major in?
HVAC, air conditioning,
Nice.
Awesome.
trade school.
Wait,
That's a
are you
2-year.
you said you're in Florida?
Yep.
I have a girlfriend that works for JCI, Johnson Controls. I bet she would give you a reference if you wanted to go with that company when you get out. And she's in Orlando.
Nice.
Yeah.
There we
So
go.
I can
This
definitely hook you
this
guys
is
up.
networking. This is networking.
Yeah, yeah.
my
She's
God.
amazing too. So
That's how it works.
and we
yeah.
actually have plans one of these days when we can afford it to go down there and visit her. So where are you in Florida?
All right.
Without doxing yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we'll talk about that later. We'll talk about that later. But the
later.
company is like even up here, so they'll be wherever you are. But yeah.
Yeah, I do not need a crazy stalker girl hunting me down without me
I
sleeping
ain't
with her
got
yet.
nothing else to do.
No, I gotta sleep with her first, then I get the stalker. You know, you don't try to trap me then.
Well, listen,
Anyway.
we appreciate having you on Stormcrow for the first the birth of our podcast here. It's we got a little off the rails a little bit. Maybe we'll have like a Redemption family episode here where we go like full in on everything that is family. I wanted to get into like some of the history of it and stuff too, but like it seems like I got caught on that one website that was just talking about how racist family is. So it's like I don't know.
I wanted a chance to talk to talk about a lot of different family things and, cycle breaking, trauma responses, mental illnesses, like all kinds of things like that. But also my mom's in the hospital right now, not doing too well. So I feel like it's going to be hard to do that right now. Might want to do it at a later time and get into all the rough shit with my mom.
Yeah, and listen, I want to first off, above all else, above all the trolling, above all the attitude I gave off, I am deeply grateful that you guys even thought having me on was a good idea. Okay.
Yeah, we're grateful to know you. You've been a really good friend to us, so definitely appreciate you and you coming on here with us.
And like I said, I'm prowling the Twitters and the Gilded. Okay, if I will not be able to show up on your next stream, no, it's because of life circumstances, not because of laziness. But please take care of yourselves. Please remain safe. Hold each other tight. Okay.
Oh yeah.
And
Well,
just stay safe for me, okay? And for your baby.
oh yeah, and tomorrow is our 3-year wedding anniversary too.
Very exciting.
Hey, there you go. Celebrate. Pop the champagne.
We're
Get
gonna go on a
crazy.
road trip, I think, is the plan.
Maybe like a short road trip, like an hour away to go camping, maybe,
Yeah.
We got a van that we can sleep in now, so we don't even have to set up a tent.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. The world's our oyster. It's fun.
Yeah.
There you go.
Bring the
Throw
dogs
the
with.
photos.
Well, and we had the Canada smoke, so it's been like smoggy, yellow, gray, burning plastic smoke almost all summer. So now it's finally clearing up a bit, and it's amazing. Like you can see the stars and smell the fresh air, and So I want to take full advantage of that. We didn't set up the pool or anything because it's just been miserable to be outside. So did you even get any of that down in Florida? Because I know they said it hit Europe.
I haven't seen any of that. I've just been getting sun. It's not good. I wish the sun would stop fucking peeling
Well,
my
it's
skin.
good that you didn't get burning plastic smog down there every day. Come on.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
But yeah, Florida's pretty brutal.
It
That
is.
heat and the mosquitoes. We get mosquitoes though, so I feel your pain there. And they, for some reason, they only go after certain people, you know. And I'm seriously their favorite person, without a doubt. But anyway, yeah, we won't keep you longer. Thanks a bunch for coming on, man.
Hey, and thank you guys for having me. Stay
Yeah,
safe.
any Tuesday and Thursdays, we're down to do this. By the way.
Yeah. We'll,
You
we'll
got
play
it.
it by ear for starts, but like once we get going, like this is we can do some cool stuff.
There you go, man. Both of you, please remain safe. Good night. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful night. Okay.
You
You
too.
too, brother.
And
Thank you so much.
happy anniversary.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
There you go. Good night.
Yeah, peace.
Good night, Orcus.
All right, so Katie, where can people find you, and what do you got going on lately?
Well, I actually just made a tweet about it, so I will be up on Karen Agency's website after a 6, maybe even 7-year modeling hiatus, leaning more into commercial instead of just high fashion with this agency. So look out for me there, which is going to be CARYN. And then Twitter, you can find me at Moonzilla Tarot. And that's about it. And TikTok, which is MZ. Wait. Let me just make sure. I think it's MZ Tarot. I made a new handle, so
Yeah, hitting that TikTok game.
yeah, MZ Tarot on TikTok. And then Twitter is just Moonzilla Tarot. And Facebook. Can't forget about the FB.
Yeah.
So Moonzilla Tarot on Facebook, Twitter, MZ Tarot on TikTok. I don't have an Instagram for that. So yeah.
Well, lately I've been learning all these new programs for streaming, and I've been working on a little promotional video to spread around for my book, Mortal Descent, available on Amazon. You can find it at amazon.com/author/AC Pritchard. If you're looking for a good spine for your bookshelf, I would suggest a hardcover. Otherwise, it doesn't matter what version you get. Digital, paperback, it's all good. I like using the paperback for travel.
It's amazing too.
Yeah. The audiobook is in the works. Comic is in the works. I'm expecting 2 pages from the comic any day now, and big things coming up for that in the future that I can't quite talk about quite yet. But yeah, things are in the works. So if you guys stay tuned, you'll start seeing gradual, better quality and more promotional material coming out from us. Like, I'd like to get rid of this StreamYard watermark in the corner here. We'll bump everything up for you guys. But in the meantime, you can find me on Twitter at Andy as fuck with a V, FVCK, and it's going to be AC Twitter. Sorry, AC Twitter. It's going to be AC Pritchard. And you can, again, my Amazon link, amazon.com/author/AC Pritchard. Say hi. Let's have a conversation. And in the meantime, you guys stay safe, stay happy, stay healthy. And, we'll see you next time.
Yeah, thanks for watching. And we appreciate everyone watching, interacting. It will get better, I promise. And it'll be less hectic. It's been kind of a long day, a long life.
Always. Have a good one, everybody.
Yeah, thanks. Take care.
Much love from the Pritchard.
Love you all.